Sid. Oh, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill. Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place, but the fact is...
What did you say to me?
Is it? Let's just say we've yet to reach a and at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which... I've tried reasoning with a dissenting party.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to her?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious...
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
Poor bastard. Couldn't run because of the weight of his load. Still, better have branded.
Fucking leaving.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that.
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be...
That's enough. Both of you, any more of this and I'll throw you out. Come back when you're ready to talk.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And
I was about to ask you.
Costness is in chaos. And the market, the Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil, is the only place. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. Or an entire city.
We're still working on the skies. Perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's.
I hope so.
You were right, boy.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear.
My thoughts exactly. What both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how.
And if there's one thing bandits like...
What would Sid the Outlaw...
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves. And be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But while it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the... It may still be possible. Before presenting...
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save this...
When all that fear and anger can be directed...
It appears we have a plan. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly.
As you wish.
Your face... Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking.
Play along.
What he means to...
Picture it, Conrad. Here she is. Conrad. May I introduce you to Jane?
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from
Victor says you took that there aren't any men left to hire. Is that
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamul's finest cannot defend this town better than a gag that a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Then let us band together and show these...
My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy some. Ah, here, Natalie. Allow me to introduce Lord
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the...
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine. It is only a matter of time before the peasants...
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, and while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking, which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, if our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow.
All right, if it will help. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good. Merely that it... Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
It appears I have no choice but to do what little I can to defend what little...
Mummy, I'm scared. What if the bad men come back?
It's all right. We're all right now.
I'm ruined.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted. With time, they may even learn to...
Time no longer appears to be the luxury.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for all.
You're not...
They don't just want food, they want the...
I have a favor. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups. One from the south and... Very well. Jill and I... The rest, my friend, the city stakes I concede are high. But if this does not...
That is a lot of...
Then it will be for us to see that they're...
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long.
And we will...
The women folk have come to work us.
I'll take that one.
It's all yours.
Get him!
They mean to overwhelm us.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie, you did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not helped.
Without you, there would have been no light. You saved us, Conrad.
We all saved.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both.
I take it from your presence that visitors from the dead.
The plan was granted. It only took an army of bloodthirsty bat.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble? We are united. As for you, Sid,
I'll take that as a compliment. Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts? All yours. Sorry, but you're not quite there yet. Hasn't been delivered yet, I'm afraid.
was wondering when you had ours from all our friends sank. How is it you always manage to arrive?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days.
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, now's not the time. Now's the time to visit the infirmary.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. It is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
You know how I feel about this, but your brother's stubbornness knows no bounds. I'm starting to think it runs in the family.
Tyre's right. Your brother is in no condition to travel. That's all I'll say on the matter.
My attendant was with me in the Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust you'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you.
Seems the hideaway's lost its
Blasted book.
appetite.
Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for?
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, so I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself.
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped?
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want...
I've never been so.
A fried mortress of sky... Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's...
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist?
Wow. That's a question for a kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe.
Fine. And if he does, I'll see if I can...
You do that. I thought I had it all worked out, but I'm buggered if I know where to find
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Sid, perhaps you can...
I can certainly try.
It's not who. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their habit, which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from...
I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to do... They were in the atrium when I last saw them.
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind.
Ah, Valisthea Cullen. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be...
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose...
Ah, so the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very colour of the sea beside which...
So we know where to look for our liver.
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have... I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive, and do save me a...
Seems the hideaway is lost.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. The whole Basil. Going purse weighing you down. Finished, are you?
Did you see the pair that got hauled into time? Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
What am I gonna do? But no...
Is everything all right? You seem more...
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I think Nan might be in...
It's all right.
There was a trading folk saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry. I'll speak. Of course. Lady Karen.
Not nearly as far.
You're doing good trade.
Can't complain. Wait, what exact? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care. But here you are today, raking me over the coals.
Just... all right.
Oh, are you? And who?
All I know is that someone in Dalamil has been spreading word.
And what? You believe it? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No, it was. No. I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old.
Of course. I spoke with that the rumors were unfounded, along with some other things. That, and while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted...
Oh, I knew Nan wasn't caught up. But why would people say she was?
No, but people do things for all sorts of reasons.
Well, that trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalim, so that's where I'm going.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's...
Oh, but that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his...
We're all gonna die! You hear me?
What do you reckon we should do? I say we should just tell Miss Shirley.
You'll get us all striped. I'm telling you, I can fix them. Sid!
Out of your studies, I see. It's not a set of scales, is it?
No.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh!
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well, then your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Mididol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
Not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh goods? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There. All finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Mididol's hairs.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Mididol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
There's a storm coming, Sid. Will there...
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children, they dismantled them to see how they...
Oh, no, Mid will have my...
Thankfully she won't. Although I was the one who ended up teaching...
I'm so sorry, Sid. I shall see that the children...
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow, but that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. So should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.